How are we doing today, people? Godrick the Grafted time, baby. To tackle the big man himself, it will require a little prep, but I'm sure this video can help even the most frustrated of you. This Limgrave capstone boss isn't overly difficult, but he does force you to grapple with many mechanics and has an absolute ton of health relative to everything previous to him. Our method should enable even level 1 characters to beat Godrick the Grafted without resulting in Fusion Reactor tiers of rage or needing RNG. Now to address something some of you may have already noticed. Scarlot Rot is fucking OP, but it goes both ways, and that is the crux of our Godrick fucking strategy. I will be using a low level character with just a bit of extra health and some dex for my weapon, stats you will most likely have by the time you get here. If you're level 1, you know what you signed up for. Speaking of weapons, I'll be using a +0 longbow with regular arrows, and Rotbone arrows. If you need a bow or regular arrows, head to any merchant or to Roundtable Hold to buy them. As for Rotbone arrows, that's what I'll be showing you how to acquire next. Rotbone arrows need Aeonian butterflies and thin beast bones, actually quite easily acquired materials. But first you need the crafting book for said arrows. As a side note, the crafting kit is bought from the merchant at the Church of Ella. This is located at a merchant in Caelid, the crafting book I mean. To go there, we need to head to Sellia crystal tunnels. If you don't know where this is, you can actually get there via Dragonburnt runes directly next to the first step grace. If you need further help, my video on how to acquire the meteorite stuff shows it in detail, link in the description. Now, arrive at the Sellia Crystal Tunnels Grace. If you like a melee Scarlot Rot buff, next to the Grace is a Rock Grace. Head outside into the air. This is Aeonia Swamps, and surprise surprise, this is where Aeonia butterflies spawn. Run around the swamp and you'll find heaps of spawns. Resting in the Grace resets them. For now though, we're heading to the merchant, so from the entrance to the tunnels, head south towards the big dead Scarlot Rot tree thing. Underneath this is a boss, so as you approach, give it a wide berth. Or check out my damageless guide on how to defeat him, link in the description. Try to stick to the right side of the tree and proceed further south. You'll see the shore slope down to the swamps. Travel up this on a more left side and you'll come across a grace. Grab this. Slightly even further south will be a road, the merchant nearby and the map piece for this area. Grab that to save yourself some time. Trade the merchant and buy the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 15 for 4,000 runes. Job done. Now we need to source ourselves some sustainable animal remains. This is actually super easy. It involves killing the night spawn only boss Bell-Bearing Hunter that replaces Night Benal at night. I'm not going to go into detail in this video where he is or how to kill him, but I already have a video on how to kill that boss and acquire his needed bell without being damaged, so link in the description once again. Once you have the bell, take it to Twin Maiden Husk in Roundtable Hold, and she'll now sell hefty beast bones in our goal, thin beast bones. Combining 2 thin beast bones, 1 Aeonian butterfly, the crafting kit and the Nomadic Warrior Cookbook 15, we now have a source of 10 Rotbone arrows a pop. Make yourself at minimum 40 to 50 of them, be sure to have some backup regular arrows too. Salt them both and we can move on to the last step, Jellychad. In my Margit bimboification video, I show you how and where to get the jellyfish summon. It is incredibly valuable in this fight also. And yes, poison stacks with Scarlot Rot, so it's even more useful here. Once again, link in the description on how to get this summon. And if you don't have the summoning bell for some reason, my video on collecting all the basic tools will be there too. Check the Twin Maiden Husks if you're still stuck without the bell. With your new arrows and Jellychad in tow, head to Stormveil Castle Gate Grace. In the essence of time, I won't be fucking around with running through the back end of the castle, so if you're wondering, this is how you skip 95% of it. Once you reach the Grace before Godrick, using whatever method you like, clearing or running, Or if you've skipped to this section, here's where the fight begins. You might assume we'll be summoning Jellybro ASAP, but I'd actually ask you to refrain until he hits second phase. He is much more dangerous then, and the distraction of the Chad will yield a cleaner fight. Godrick is most dangerous up close, which is why we won't be. Most of his AI pathing is spent trying to find his way to you in the fight. The tombstones everywhere actually aid a lot in this fight, as he will stop to destroy them or try to wander around. He does have a super long wind up ranged attack, which can be 1 to 4 attacks long. As he's winding up, he also reflects arrows, so watch out for that. He throws these gusts of wind at you, and honestly the best way to deal with them is dodging to the opposite side they're arcing towards you from. Uncommonly, he might choose to leap towards you, just try and get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. It didn't happen in my fight because I think it's a melee targeted attack and I kept my distance enough, but he has a ground pound attack that is approximately 3 hits in a row where he very obviously telegraphs each hit, and the hitbox is very forgiving. Literally just jump each time he swings, it negates all the damage. As he approaches 50% health, he does a big animation of chopping his arm off, perfect time for free damage. A cutscene later and he will be Dragonhead arm % more deadly. Summon the jellyfish, and allow it to take the aggression and be a distraction for you. It will probably die soon, but it really smooths the fight out. Godrick really likes to close distance in phase 2, so positioning is everything. The Scarlot Rot buff may wear off in the duration of the fight, just use Rotbone arrows to reproc it. It should do thousands of points during the fight, and it basically gimps Godrick down to a pretty reasonable battle. Your reward will be access to the Great Runes, the unpowered Godrick's Great Rune, a Remembrance of the Grafted, and 20,000 runes. The Remembrance are Elden Ring's boss souls, and they can be traded for various things or used for runes. Check Roundtable Hold for an NPC to use them with after the fight. If you aren't sure what to do with Great Runes, check my video on how to get into the Divine Tower of Limgrave where you can claim Godrick's power. Link in the description. I hope you learnt something today and that you enjoyed my content. Chuck me a sub if you did. A like goes a long way too. Let me know what you think in the comments or check me out on Twitch. Link in the description. Thanks for watching.